Usually on Bar Rescue, John Taffer has to help fix some attitudes as well as policies within the bar, but he more often than not will have to end up fixing a lot of the safety and health precautions there. Today we're going to be discussing some of the most disgusting kitchens on Bar Rescue and why John Taffer definitely had his work cut out from the start. Welcome back to the video, guys. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. For returners, welcome back. For newcomers, just hit that sub bell, guys. It's free, and turn on our post notifications. These were some of the most disgusting kitchens / bars on Bar Rescue, and honestly, this would even make a rat shiver in disgust as how horrible the conditions were to be serving food and drinks out at these bars. First up, we have Up Scottsdale in Scottsdale, Arizona. A poorly vented kitchen put this bar in the number 4 spot on our countdown. Upon walking into a bar, a curtain of beef smoke inundated anyone in its path, making it seem though the place was on fire and things were burning. Filth and disgust was evident in every aspect of this bar. This bar was absolutely disgusting as there was grease in between the french fry greasers, and also in the bathrooms there was literally feces on the floor. John Taffer couldn't stand the absolute stench of the bar. The moment he walked in, it hit his nostrils. He said, and I know this is later on our list, but it was one of the most grossest bars he had ever walked into. He said he would have been more comfortable eating off of the gas station bathroom floor. Dowdy's in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is next up on our list. Dominic, the owner, became so overwhelmed by his failing business that he didn't even notice how atrocious his bar had become. The exterior was battered, paint peeling, panels missing, and the interior was dirtied, cluttered, and also in some spots literally falling apart and deteriorating. The kitchen itself was filthy and poorly maintained as well. The chef couldn't give two rats' butts about everything falling apart, and also the stove literally caved in when Taffer's crew started to clean it. If you have a dirty stove, that's one part where you're doing it wrong. You have to make sure that the stove is one of the cleanest parts in your kitchen, as, I mean, it's pretty obvious and self-explanatory. You're cooking people's food on it. Taffer was ultimately disgusted with this bar, saying this was the second worst bar he had ever been in terms of health and filthiness. This was disgusting, and if you're an owner, you should be aware of how a bar is looking. Even though you're in debt hundreds of thousands of dollars, you have to make sure you maintain its uplit cleanliness and make sure that it's very clean. I don't know how this bar, after watching this show, passed health inspections. I mean, they must have had to know the health inspector or something, or must have been paying him off, because there's no way this health inspector would have gave him a passing grade unless they were just ducking him and not letting him come in whenever they were open for business hours. Next up, we have the Alibi in Las Vegas, Nevada. There's a bunch of beer sitting in ice in this episode, and the question arises on how often the ice is burned. People think that ice stops bacteria, but ultimately it doesn't. Taffer tells them that when the ice is burned down, the sludge that is left behind is bacteria. In addition to these dirty disgusteds, the appliances were covered in a goopy grease, creating a fire hazard. Taffer scraped bacteria off of the cutting boards and continued to find one sanitary violation after another. Ultimately, this bar was shut down back in 2018 due to, you guessed it, health violations. I don't think this bar is fit for anyone to ever eat in, and it's pretty disgusting and showed. Still though, you gotta make sure you maintain the cleanliness of these bars, and you wanna make sure also that the health inspectors come through at least once a month to make sure the bars are doing well. You can clearly see in this bar that the grease everywhere, the sludge left in the ice, and also the beer floating in the sludge was definitely a health violation. At one point during the episode, Taffer actually ended up picking up a liquor bottle and found many flies with his flashlight that were easily noticeable without the flashlight. That is truly disgusting, and they should be ashamed of their actions. Next up, we have the Oasis hookah bar in Omaha, Nebraska. The entire bar is absolutely disgusting. There's garbage surrounding the circular bar, sitting right next to the customers, and it seems like the owner couldn't give two craps about it. The bathroom is so repulsive that customers walk right out upon entering it and do not use it, making sure they stay in the bar's main area. The trash throughout the bar sounds horrible. However, this is not yet the worst problem. The bar gives off a horrific odor because of a dead rat that has been sitting behind a couch for weeks. So, you are at a bar. You want to sit down, but all the seats at the bar are taken, so you end up trying to sit down in a relaxing, comfortable, cushy couch. You then notice a foul odor, and then you see what amazes you is a dead rat right behind it. Would you want to drink or eat food there? Chances are you wouldn't, and I don't know how during this episode this bar had customers. The only possible explanation maybe was they were paying them to make it look like it was busy, but it really shouldn't have been. That's probably the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in a bar, a dead rat. And how do you not even know that it's there? I mean, you'd smell it obviously. This only leads to one solution and explanation. The owner just doesn't care and he's given up. These bars were absolutely filthy. The kitchens were filthy. The bar main area were filthy. Even the bathrooms, even though those are supposed to be kind of disgusting, they were disgusting on top of another level. So I want to know what you guys think. What was the most disgusting bar that we discussed in today's video? I'd love to comment down with you guys down below in the comment section. Guys, I'm signing off, and as always, see y'all later.